How has so much of the United States simultaneously entered a housing affordability crisis? Single-family zoning is the answer. In the 1950s, vast swaths of land were required by law to only allow individual homes on large lots with large lawns. This was enabled by the advent of the private automobile, which allowed reasonable commute times from much larger areas of land than was possible before. We have now pretty much exhausted all that land, even in cities like Houston. Unconstrained by greenbelts or natural features, and with the insane freeways everywhere, the sprawl has continued, and a typical car commute from the fringe of the city to downtown is over 30 minutes without any traffic, and there will be traffic. 30 minutes is about the limit of what people will tolerate for a typical everyday trip. By focusing only on cars and low-density living, we have eliminated all our potential new housing sources. Density doesn't work because there's no transit, and sprawl doesn't work because the distances are too far. Not every place is. You can still get a 800 SUFT house here for $200K, but one of the major issues is that, while states and locals are different, trends and developments in society often aren't, so the problems they cause tend to spread widely. Most of New England is going through this right now. It's awful, and I feel like I have to move to the Midwest just to afford a decent apartment and be able to live a comfortable life. Higher rates just made the cracks show like the 2008 crisis. This affordability crisis has plagued us since then, but easy cash with low rates made the problem less noticeable, but you can still see where the cracks were before they started to show, like in California. How can a person on even an $80K salary afford a $1.4 million home? Cheap credit and hot money. People are leaving the places that were already overpriced and driving up the prices in the places they landed. Not enough supply to keep up with demand. It's essentially a financial bubble. Those trillions of dollars created out of nothing in recent years, they had to go into something, and many of them went into real estate. Hedge funds are buying them up. Capitalism needed a new commodity to destroy. Too many apartments became Airbnbs, at least around here. Rinse and repeat. Lack of supply. Not just USA. Not just USA. It is happening in all Western nations. Building costs and regulations have increased, especially in places where people want to move to major cities. You can still buy a more affordable house in a safe area, but it won't be in the state capital or any important city. Corporations and speculators buying up all the available stock. Single guy, no kids, no pets, decent paying FTJ, and it's hard finding a simple rancher style that doesn't need a ton of work or hasn't been renovated to be some $250K house. House keep appreciating, or house flippers have turned starter houses into expensive ones, or those guys that will buy any house, all cash or couples makes it hard to compete. Printing trillions of dollars,